I hope you're having a great day. Well, today we want to talk about one simple, inexpensive tip that you can use to basically alkalize your body almost instantly. Well, the whole alkaline acidic diet and the myths have been going on for the longest time. Yes, it is true that a very, very acidic body becomes a favorable place for most bacteria, germs, viruses, and even cancer cells to breed, which is why we need to make sure that we're not too acidic most of the times. But everyone else gets it wrong in terms of, trying to make the body too alkaline. Anyway, I'm going to separate the two videos because tomorrow's video is basically about how you need to make sure that your kidney health is really optimum. And if your kidney health is optimum, it automatically takes care of the pH of your system. So many people get onto these green juices and alkaline waters and all of that stuff. Yes, it will make your urine alkaline, but we're not talking about your urine being alkaline. We're talking about basically your stomach, your digestive system, not having too many acids at any given point in the system except while you're digesting food. While you're digesting food, the stomach needs to be allowed to produce the right amount of stomach acid to help break down your proteins and everything else so that we don't have an issue with digestion, assimilation, and absorption. Now, most people tend to get acidic when they overdo it on junk food, sugars, outside food. The problem is never with meat, non-veg, and all of that stuff. It's a huge myth that non-vegetarian food makes you more acidic than vegetarian food. And we will break that myth tomorrow. But right now we're talking about one simple tip. It's not alkaline water, it's not lemon water, it's not more fruits, vegetables, and all of that stuff. What you have in your control right now is the way that you breathe. Yes, it is true. The deeper that you breathe, the more alkalizing is the effect on the human body. When we take shallow breaths, when we don't breathe the right way, we keep more carbon dioxide inside of our blood, which makes our system highly acidic. When you have shallow breathing because you're stressed or you're too into your work that you forget to breathe and you're used to this shallow breathing from your chest and not from your lungs, what happens is this sends a note to your stress system that you are stressed, because shallow breathing means the body is in the sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight and flight stress mode. So you end up producing more cortisol and more stress hormones, and what happens is this leaves you with more toxins in your blood, keeping you more acidic. Right now, if we take 3 to 4 to 6 deep breaths, we put in more oxygen. Oxygen helps clean out your system at a cellular level. The more oxygen we take in, the more carbon dioxide we send out. The least amount of carbon dioxide in our system helps us to be less acidic instantly. So, whether you're working, whether you're eating a meal, which is why we always say before you start your meal, before offering thanks or praying for your meal that you have or gratitude for your meal, it is also extremely important to center yourself by taking 4 to 6 deep breaths. Because when we take 4 to 6 deep breaths, it basically enables our digestive system to work better by moving us into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest. So instantly we can alkalize our bodies by breathing deeply. And this works fantastically. We've seen with our patients who are going through chemotherapy, which is highly toxic and highly acidic, but yet needed. When they're going through this, we tell them to focus on their breathing. The more oxygen they take and the more carbon dioxide they let out, you will find instant reductions in the side effects that they go through. Nausea, vomiting, a quick drop in their energy levels, fainting, and all of that stuff. So it is so important to understand that our mechanism of the human body is built to breathe the right way. But because we're not mindful, because we're constantly stressed, because we want to focus on doing 5 things at one time, even while we're eating our meals, we want to be talking or looking at the phone or listening to something or watching the news, we forget to breathe. And because we forget to breathe, we get more acidic. This is for people who exercise as well. You can do as much of exercise as you want the safe and the right way. But if you're not breathing the right way, there are so many people who exercise, run, walk, lift weights, but they don't breathe the right way. And this leads to a bigger buildup of lactic acid in their system, making them more and more acidic, which is why it's so important to synchronize your breathing with every movement that you do. And that science and that beauty you see in yoga. Because the right yoga, I'm not talking about the fad, crap, power yoga and all of those fads of yoga. The original traditional yoga that basically incorporates your breath with every movement that you make also helps you alkalize the human body. So it's so important to focus on the right breathing while you're working out. You finish a workout, you want to be in a restful position where you can come back down to your normal breathing, which means more oxygen in and more carbon dioxide out, which makes Shavasana one of the most powerful movements that everyone who works out, whether you run, you dance, you lift weights, you do CrossFit, you need to end it with Shavasana, where you lie down on the mat and you do that asana where your body basically regularizes your breathing back to normal. So you push out the excess carbon dioxide, because the more carbon dioxide you have in your system, the more acidic you are. So we can go on Googling superfoods, high alkaline foods, and do all of these things and eat them. They may help to some extent, but if you're not breathing the right way, nothing matters. Everything begins with the prana in your body. The way you breathe, the way your body utilizes oxygen. When you're in a stress position, when you're home, when you're relaxed, whatever you're doing, focus on your breathing, which is why we insist that you have a pranayama practice, you have a meditation practice, because these practices focus on making you breathe the right way. And the more you do it, practice, there are more than enough of people who say, oh, I can't meditate, I can't do that. Well, you can't do that, you can't do it. It's as simple as that. No one got it easy. You go on doing it, practice until it becomes perfect. For the people who complain and they say they can't do it, well, it's not your priority and you don't want to try hard enough, which is why you don't end up being able to do it. It was difficult for everyone who started off. No one just sat down and started meditating easily without having to put some amount of effort and some amount of self-discipline in. So focus on the fundamentals of the human body, which is getting the right amount of oxygen in and the right amount of carbon dioxide out. A simple exercise, we've spoken about this before, is your belly breathing, your deep belly breathing or your diaphragmatic breathing. It's very simple. When you inhale, you can try the simple exercise where you put your palm on your tummy and one hand on your chest. When you inhale, your tummy has to inflate. Think of it as a balloon. When you're putting air in the balloon inflates. When you let out the air, the balloon deflates. So when you inhale, your belly should rise first and then the lower portion of your lungs. And when you exhale, the opposite happens. So what you want to do is put one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. And as you inhale, your belly should rise first and then your chest. And as you exhale, the opposite happens. This way you know that you are breathing through your belly and that oxygen is reaching the lower part of your lungs. So you can start off with 4 seconds. 4 seconds of a deep inhale, 4 seconds of a hold, and a longer exhale, because the exhale is when you're throwing out all of the carbon dioxide, and that is extremely important. As you get better and better with this, you do a long inhale and you do a longer exhale. And once you've exhaled completely, you hold. You hold for 4 to 5 to 6 to 10 seconds to make sure all the carbon dioxide has come out of your system. If you have high blood pressure, you want to avoid this right now or do it under supervision. But these are normal breathing techniques that we can practice. It doesn't take you more than 5 minutes in a day to ensure that you can alkalize your body. We've never really figured out, our body never had to get alkaline, acidic 10, 15, 20 years down the line. Oxygen and the way we live did it naturally. And we need to get back to using the natural mechanism of the human body, the natural intelligence of the human body to balance all of these things. Of course, if you're eating too much of junk and acidic foods, you need to take precautions on how to make your body more alkaline. But other than that, the main organ that plays every role in maintaining the pH of your body is your kidneys. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep.